evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Walden Soccer Complex on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams here with you as we get set for the opening home match of the 2013 Columbus State University women's soccer season. The Lady Cougars head coach Jay Entlich bringing his team in here for the 10th season of existence, and all 10 under his tutelage there at the helm. 0-2 for the very first time in program history, but those two losses coming to the number 1 and 2 teams in the country during the opening weekend at the Clash on the Coast down in Savannah, Georgia. So they bring an 0-2 record into the home opener, looking for the first win of the season, and they'll take on the Pioneers of Tusculum College, who are down here in this CSU Collegiate Invitational, sponsored by State Farm here on the campus of Columbus State University. 2 games already in the books today as Tampa knocked off Lenore-Rhine in a top 15 matchup earlier today, 2-0. And right before this one, it was Nova Southeastern knocking off North Alabama, 3-0. And now we're all set for the final game of this opening day of the CSU Collegiate Invitational. The Lady Cougars trying to pick up win number 1 on the season, taking on the Pioneers of Tusculum. Tusculum comes in here 1-1-1 on the season through 3 games. Their head coach, Mike Joy, in his 17th season at the helm there at Tusculum, 213 wins for him overall, and he comes into tonight needing 1 win to get to 300 for his career. So he's hoping tonight will be a memorable moment for him here in Columbus, Georgia. The Lady Cougars out there in the navy blue home uniforms, the white numerals and white trim. They'll look like this. It'll be Miosha Hatcher, the new goalkeeper for CSU, a sophomore, in goal. Casey Davis and Shelby Rowling along with Shea Wilby in the back line, along with Chelsea Pearson, Kelsey Pelletier, Nicole Corsione, Andy Larice, Kayla Taylor, Blakely Heidemann, and Taylor Marks out there on the field for Jay Entlich's group. Tusculum with possession to start things off in the white uniforms, the orange stripes. CSU will be moving left to right as you're looking at it, as the Lady Cougars have officially opened up the home portion of the 2013 schedule. It was quite the start to the year for the Lady Cougars as they took on number 1 West Florida, the defending national champs, and then number 2 Grand Valley State last Friday and Sunday down in Savannah, Georgia, down at Armstrong Atlantic State University. The Lady Cougars losing 3-2 in overtime in heartbreaking fashion to the Argonauts of West Florida in the opening contest, a game that they actually led 2-1 as this one will roll over the end line. Giving it a chase that time was Monica Perez for Tusculum. Couldn't get there before it rolls over. But the Lady Cougars falling in heartbreaking fashion in the opening game, and then on Sunday they were tied at the half in a scoreless game with Grand Valley State, the number 2 team and one of the perennial powers in Division II soccer, but gave up 2 second-half goals and ended up dropping that one 2-0. So it is the first time they've started 0-2 in program history, all of those years under the helm of Jay Entlich. Comes in here the winningest coach all-time in Peach Belt Conference history, over 140 wins, as Chelsea Pearson with the ball in the center, working her way towards the box, has it kicked away, deflected off a couple of players, including Taylor Marks, who is down there for CSU. One of the new faces to this Lady Cougar roster. It's a roster that lost a ton, 9 starters that are gone for CSU. A huge senior class last year. A couple of All-Americans that are no longer with this team. As Steph Lowry, one of the all-time greats at the Columbus State program, along with Kansas Bailey, a 2-time All-American. Both of them gone from this program. Kayla Brown, a all-region defender, along with Kat Lovin, one of the midfielders that did a lot of the controlling for CSU, no longer here. A whole host of players. And then Mary Manson in goal, an all-conference goalkeeper who's no longer a member of this program as a player, now working as a graduate assistant for CSU, as that one's headed out of bounds, last touch by the Pioneers on the far side. So it's a lot of fresh faces, and it's a very, very young roster for Jay Entlich's group, as his team has 0 seniors on it. No seniors on the team at this point. There's a few juniors, but it's mostly made up of sophomores and freshmen, as this free kick ends up in the box but headed away by Tusculum. It was Alicia Pugh who was the one who was able to get it out of the scoring zone. Taylor Lewis working with it at the center line. As they work it forward, it's Pelletier who comes away with the steal. Kelsey Pelletier, Chelsea Pearson, two of the ones that are back for CSU in the forward position. The two team captains here for the Lady Cougars. They do return both of their center backs in the defensive line for Jay Itlick. Blakely Heidemann, a sophomore, seeing her first game action here tonight after she didn't make the trip with them to Savannah because of injury. Back there tonight in the starting lineup. And Shelby Rowling, an all-region defender who went down after 14 games last year with a torn ACL, making the comeback, and she's been good to go all fall long. Has played in each of the first 3 games now as Pelletier works her way towards the box. The defender falls down. The cross is through to the center. Touched on by Marks, tipped away. Ball deflected and still loose, and finally cleared out by a Tusculum defender, Amy Morford, the one who cleared it away. Kayla Taylor now dribbling it into the corner. Another one of the freshmen for CSU, and a goal kick coming up. And it'll belong to Marissa Williams, a 5'7" junior out of Canton, Michigan, who will touch it for the first time for Tusculum. Williams, one of 4 preseason all-conference players for Tusculum out of the South Atlantic Conference. They had 4 players that were voted preseason all-conference. All of them were voted to the preseason all-conference second team. The lineup for Tusculum looks like this. Marissa Williams in goal, along with Taylor Lewis, Gabrielle Witt, Courtney Hackney, Monica Perez, Nikki Arthur, Amy Morford, Olivia Kilgore, Janique Tomes, Amy Neltner, and Alicia Pugh. Pelletier driving it again on the right side, trying to get into the box. Another cross. This one tapped away by the goalkeeper, still loose, kept alive. Marks hits the crossbar. Still loose in the center, a scramble for it, and the goalkeeper Williams will finally fall on it. Taylor Marks had a clear look at one and put a clean shot on it, but right off the crossbar, and CSU misses its first really good opportunity of the night. Taylor Marks, a freshman in the starting lineup for CSU, one of several that they have out there. As Pelletier works it again along the right side. Another cross into the center. That one headed away. Controlled on the part of Perez, who kicks it too far for Taylor Lewis and intercepted. Shelby Rowling from her center back spot across midfield, wearing that heavy brace on that left knee that she had operated on. Leaves it off for Larice, just on the left side of the box. Tapped in, Wilby couldn't tell if she was able to get a foot on it, but it went all the way through, and it'll go over the line again. But CSU, this is what you expect to see out of them. They attack, they attack, they attack. Not a team that plays, as Jay Itlick calls it, the bunker style, with everyone back in the defensive end just taking attacks. His team is always on the offensive attack, and so far that's all you've seen from his Lady Cougars. CSU still trying to feel out what this year is going to be like. So many new faces for the first time since the first year of the program's existence back in 2004, as that was a foul from behind on Wilby of CSU. For the first time since 2004, the Lady Cougars didn't have a player on the preseason all-conference team in the Peach Belt, but it didn't stop the coaches from voting the Lady Cougars the #1 team and the favorite in the Peach Belt Conference. It was a surprise to some, but the history of this program gave them the #1 spot ahead of Armstrong, the defending conference champions. As this one gets into the Tusculum box now, Pelletier, the one back there, had it knocked away that time on the part of Tusculum. Pelletier with it. Couldn't get it through the double team as Taylor tries to work it down the sideline. Instead chooses to drop it back for Heidemann. So the Lady Cougars, with high expectations from some, it comes with the territory of being a perennial top 15 program. They dropped out of the poll, the top 25 poll of the NSCAA, just this week after the 0-2 start, as that ball by Corsione is led too far forward and ends up in the hands of Marissa Williams. It was the first time they had fallen out of the poll since November 1st of 2011. That was 15 straight polls that they had been ranked in, including 4 times they were inside the top 10 as Lewis trying to make a run at it and Shelby Rolling not having any of it. Stops it right in the center and takes it away. Lady Cougars opened this season as the 13th ranked team in the top 25 and fell all the way out, not even receiving votes. Whether that was deserved or not after falling to number 1 or number 2, you'll leave that to you to discuss. A second ranking system that's come out now that's based more on computer formulas and things like that, called the Bennett rank system, had the Lady Cougars as the number 4 team coming into the season, as Casey Davis will track this one down in the far corner. I'll actually watch it roll over the end line and set up a goal kick for Hatcher. The Bennett rank system had CSU as number 4 in the country when this season opened, and after the opening weekend losses, dropped them just 2 spots to number 6. So quite the discrepancy between a computer formula and the coaches' vote that's going on. 9 minutes gone by here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Glad you're with us on Cougar Sports TV as the Lady Cougars searching for win number 1 of 2013, taking on Tusculum College, the Pioneers out of the South Atlantic Conference. This is the 3rd of 6 games to be played here this weekend in this CSU Collegiate Invitational as Lewis drives one across the outside of the box. Cleared away by Heidemann. Kept in play, though, that time by Witt. Taylor comes over to try to take it away. Witt still with it. Leaves it for Lewis. Larice, the one-on-one defender there on the far side. This one crossed into the center, and Hatcher with sure hands puts 2 on it. Catches it out of the air, and she'll send it back in the opposite direction. Tampa and Nova Southeastern, a couple of Sunshine State schools, victorious already today as we get a foul coming up and a 50-50 ball in the center of the field. Chelsea Pearson called for the foul. 3 more matches to be played coming up on Sunday. They'll be played at 10, 12:30, and 3 Eastern time here in Columbus, Georgia. The Lady Cougars will be playing the final of those 3 games, the 3 o'clock match, as they'll take on North Alabama, who fell 3-0 today at the hands of Nova Southeastern. Marks tried to leave it forward for fellow freshman Corsione, but had it deflected away. Witt now drops one forward for Tusculum. This is Toombs, who's taken down, but a clean tackle on the part of Rolling, and Pelletier will be the one that clears it. Pearson heads it on. Corsione, a talented freshman for CSU, driving forward on the right side, working for the box, tries to center it in front of the net. It's tipped away by Morford, but over the end line, and a corner kick coming up for CSU, the first of the game. Corsione, a freshman out of Candler, North Carolina, sliding into one of the starting positions in the forward spot for CSU. High expectations for her coming out of high school. This is Marks that'll swing it in with the right foot. On the back post, Heidemann got a head on it. It was loose in the box for a second and finally cleared away by the Pioneers. CSU with the only 2 shots so far of the ball game. Tusculum yet to put one on net to this point. That one cleared over the sideline on a slide. Miosha Hatcher sliding in now to the goalkeeper spot for CSU, a sophomore that saw limited action last year. Mary Manson saw most of the time back there as the senior all-conference goalkeeper. That one off the foot of Pearson and over the sideline, so a throw coming up for Tusculum. So Hatcher now, as a sophomore, tasked with going back there and taking over and filling those big shoes that Manson left. Hatcher was injured in the opening game against West Florida late, was run into and ended up suffering a thigh bruise, had to come out in favor of Malin Parsons, a freshman, who had to step in with a 2-1 lead, or rather in a 2-2 game late, closing in on overtime, had to step in and as a freshman play the final minutes of a tie game against the number 1 team and defending national champs. So quite the task at hand for her in that one. Ended up giving up a goal in the final seconds of overtime. As the seconds were ticking away, West Florida put one in to finish that one off. And then Parsons played the 2-0 loss to Grand Valley 2 days later. This is Pearson on the run. Corsione to her right. 3 defenders down there. Pearson working it into the box. On the left side, crosses one, and it falls into the hands of Williams. Defenders that time on the outside leading the way. Able to keep her out of position. That was Pugh that was guarding her as this one's tapped out of bounds right in front of us below the press box as Heidemann was working that time against Perez. Heidemann, the sophomore out of Auburn, leaves it forward. A slide tackle sends the ball over the sideline on the part of Pugh. Pugh, a sophomore, came across the ocean from England to play at Tusculum. Pugh right here takes it away off the pass, heading down the left sideline. Leaves it forward, but rolling the one there to take it with the right foot. Rolling, good job, draws 2 defenders, leaves it forward for Pelletier. That one sent into the center, but cleared away. Morford coming up from her defensive position to get it out of the offensive zone. CSU trying to replace a ton, not only in leadership, but also in production. Steph Lowry, one of the program's all-time leaders, gone. Kansas Bailey, one of the top scorers, gone as well, as this one's down the right side. This is Neltner with it in the box. Larice was there. They leave it off for Lewis, and Casey Davis from the center back clears it away. Sent forward from well outside the box on the part of Witt. Out wide left and out of bounds. Over the end line, a goal kick coming up for Hatcher. So CSU, not a whole lot of scoring coming back. Chelsea Pearson had 4 goals last season and a couple assists. Kelsey Pelletier put in 3 goals last year, and those 2 will be relied upon heavily to step up their production along with some of the freshmen in that front line for CSU. Heidemann running it down near midfield, working down the right side. Moved up from her defensive position. Drops it into the center. Pearson controls it and trying to get it loose. Had it tapped by a defender. Kilgore got a foot on it. Deflected it away. Over 15 minutes gone by as Hatcher clears it out of the box. Still searching for the opening goal as an offsides flag comes up on the far sideline. I believe it was Toombs that was too far forward. So CSU has it back on the move as we approach minute number 17. Corsione able to win the ball away. Leaves it to the side for Pelletier. Drives into the box on the right side. The cross right in front of the net, no one home. It gets through everyone and across to the far corner. Will be trying to run it down, had it cleared away. Good ball on the part of Pelletier. Nobody there on the backside to receive it though. Rolling. Flying up from her defender spot. Now working on offense. Had it tipped away from her, and this one will be cleared over into the Tusculum bench just underneath us. And a throw for CSU. Jay Entlich's squad. While defender may be next to your name, it doesn't mean you can't score. Shelby Rolling, an offensive threat for CSU. Some of Jay Entlich's most prolific players have come from their defensive spots and flown up the sidelines and worked well. He works a rotation system. A defender comes up, a midfielder drops back, and they rotate out. Tusculum trying to march the attack forward, but Larice there to take the attack away. Given right back, though, as Davis now steps in and steals one. Corsione in the left center. Goes for the right side. Pearson on a run had gotten behind the defense. The ball a little too far out in front of her, though. Williams comes out to snatch it before she can get there. This Tusculum team out of the South Atlantic Conference was picked to be 3rd overall in the preseason poll as Pearson starts driving forward again. Pugh, the one trying to defend her. 3 defenders there as Pearson fires the shot, deflected off of the hands of Williams, but then wide of the mark, and she'll track it down. So Chelsea rips one with the right foot, a 3rd shot of the game for CSU, and the first save on the part of Williams. Tusculum last season was 12-3-3 overall. They were third place in that South Atlantic Conference with a 6-2-1 record. As it's cleared away again, Morford this time stopped Pelletier's run. Heidemann now leading it down the right. Tipped away by Pugh, a throw coming up right there on the sideline. Strong throw finds Pearson in the corner of the box. Couldn't control it though, and it's cleared away. And it's Lewis, who's all by herself, leading the way and turns it right over. A gift for CSU. Now Pearson in a one-on-one situation, driving into the box. Led herself a little far, has to save it in right in front of the corner of the goal. Wilby with the slide tried to get in there, but it was picked up by Williams before Wilby could get a foot on it. Again, CSU much more on the attack than Tusculum is at this point, but it hasn't resulted in anything on the scoreboard other than shots. Nothing in the scoring column. 0-0 as we roll near 20 minutes gone by in this opening half. Pelletier staring down the defense, works it around the defender, now flying up on the right, trying to work her way to the box. It's Perez that's defending as it goes towards the corner, and Perez clears it over the sideline. Sub coming on for CSU, the first one of the contest, is Tori Hood, a sophomore for CSU out of Cumming, Georgia, will come on. Corsione, the freshman, will trot off. Hood, another one of the forwards for CSU, had a goal in the opening game against West Florida. Actually fired the first goal of the season for CSU as she crosses this one, but it'll be out and behind the goal, and it'll give Williams a chance to bomb one away from in the box. Lady Cougars in action here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Lady Cougar volleyball team, also a big contest tonight. They're on the road in Augusta, taking on what is now Georgia Regents University, formerly Augusta State. It's the Peach Belt Conference opener for Casey Cornett's bunch. If you haven't been following along, this is the first year of volleyball in Columbus State since 1981, so a landmark season for them, and this is conference opener for them. They're so far 4-0 on the year and getting a first conference test tonight, so we'll keep you updated as to how that one's going along. This is Taylor leaving it out to the left corner. Larice tracking it down. She'll center it. Will be the closest one to it, but unable to get into position to get the ball. Shielded off by the defender, and Williams picks it up. That goal kick coming here to the near sideline will go over the side and out. CSU again with a throw, and again strongly winning the possession battle early in the contest. Hood on the right side, working on Pugh, able to get around her, and they'll say Torrey was the last one to touch it as it rolls over the end line. A Tusculum player down to a knee on the edge of the box. That's Perez. Still down right in the outside right corner of the box, and so they're going to stop the clock with 23:30 showing still to play here in this first half, as the referee in the center, William Gresham, will walk over and check on her. They'll sub out Monica Perez, and in for the first time will be Kanisha Waugh. Waugh, a junior out of Ontario, Canada, comes on for the first time wearing number 15 in white. Scoreless game, Tusculum with a shot on the board now. CSU with 3 to this point. Still looking for the opening goal. Heidemann the throw. That was Waugh that came over to deflect it away. Out in front of Tori Hood. As that one just about hit Tori right in the face on the throw. Tusculum with possession back, a sub coming in for them at the next stoppage. As Witt works with it in the midfield, drops it off for Morford on the right side, who tries to clear it away, but Shea Wilby got a foot on it, deflects it across midfield and out of bounds, and now a throw coming up, a stoppage in play. And we'll have a sub coming on as Garrison, a freshman out of Cincinnati, Ohio, comes on for the Pioneers. A 1-1-1 start to the season for them so far. They hosted the Tusculum kickoff tournament up in Greenville, Tennessee to start off the season. They took on California, PA up in Pennsylvania in the opening match of the year and ended up in a scoreless draw in that one. And then North Alabama, a team that's playing here in this CSU Collegiate Invitational, took on Tusculum, as this will be a goal kick coming up for Hatcher. The Pioneers knocked off the Lions of North Alabama 2-1. That was back on the 8th of September. And then 2 days later, on the 10th, they took on Belmont Abbey, also a home contest for them in Greenville. Belmont Abbey knocked them off 3-1. That was a team we saw here in the NCAA tournament. CSU, it was actually their second-round opponent. Belmont Abbey was, after they pulled off an upset of Lenore-Rhine here in the opening rounds of the NCAA tournament last year. CSU was the 2 seed in the NCAA tournament in the Southeast region. Made it to the 3rd round, went down to Pensacola, down to West Florida, where they took on number 1 seed and conference rival Armstrong. They played to a scoreless tie, went to penalty kicks, and Armstrong went on to defeat them 6-5 in PKs to eliminate the Lady Cougars from postseason play and end their season. Another goal kick coming up, closing in on 25 minutes gone by in this first half. CSU with that back line of Rolling, Heidemann, Davis, and Larice right now. Taylor, Wilby, and Marks playing in the midfield. Hood, Pelletier, and Pearson playing the forward positions for CSU. Good ball that time from Davis as Rolling's going to run it down in front of the Tusculum bench. No one in front of her for a ways as Garrison tries to track her down. Shelby leaves it in the center of the box. It's deflected away, still loose out in front of the center. It'll end back up on the foot of Rolling. She'll fire from outside the box, just over the crossbar on the right side. A 4th shot for CSU, but this one high of the mark. And a goal kick for Tusculum as we roll under 20 minutes to play in this first half. Good crowd on hand for opening night here at the Walden Soccer Complex. They added that extra set of bleachers in across the way right before the NCAA tournament last year. So a lot more seating for fans here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Of course, a good chunk of people standing along the fence line just to the left of the bleachers. And a few people have worked their way down behind the left goal, behind the fencing over there, standing and watching. Very muggy night in Columbus, Georgia. Not quite as hot since the sun went down, but very, very humid out here. It's been warm the last few days, up in the mid-90s. As we're going to get a couple of subs coming on for Tusculum at this point. Katie Capel will run on along with Kelly McCullough and also Carly Whitman. So 3 subs coming in. Taylor Lewis comes off. Amy Neltner comes off along with Olivia Kilgore. So 3 subs out, 3 subs in for Mike Joy's bunch. Again, looking for his 300th win tonight here in Columbus, sitting on 299 right now in his 22nd season as a collegiate head coach, his 17th there in Greenville. Rolling, leaves it forward. Pearson, the intended target, headed away by Pugh. Taylor from the midfield picks it up on the run just outside the box, leaves it to the left for Wilby, too far out in front of her and too strong. And it'll roll over the inline. Scoreless here in Columbus at the Walden Soccer Complex. The Lady Cougar volleyball team taking the opening set in Augusta, Georgia tonight, 25-13. over Georgia Regents University in their first conference matchup. Casey Cornett's group, quite impressive last weekend here in the Lumpkin Center on campus as they swept their way through the CSU Houston Clinic Invitational. Swept 3 sets from Fort Valley State on Wednesday night on the road. And now going for another victory here tonight. So far this year they've played 13 sets and they've won all 13 of them. Possession belongs to Tusculum, coming up on a throw on the far sideline just across midfield. The Pioneers still just one shot in the game. Haven't had too many good runs at the net so far. Miosha Hatcher hasn't been all that busy. They try one here, trying to leave it forward, that time for McCalla. Out too far in front of her reach, and Hatcher comes out just to the edge of the box, and she'll pick it up. Ball ricochets off a couple of heads in the center. Finally controlled by Tusculum right on the sideline in front of the bleachers. Pelletier takes it away, and she'll work her way, Will the junior, down the left side. Pelletier, not big in size, but very quick, centers that one. It's tipped away, loose in the box as Marks was trying to go for it. A slide and taken out of there by Morford, the defender, the senior out of Versailles, Kentucky, just outside Lexington. Pearson, able to win it away from Pugh. Drops it off for Taylor at the midfield. Less than 16 to go in a scoreless first half. Wilby for Pelletier outside the box. With the right foot, fires on a shot. A diving attempt at it by Williams. Realized she was outside the post. Let it slide on by, and a goal kick for the Pioneers. Sub coming on for CSU. Another new face into the game. Another freshman, as it's Jessica Sauer, a freshman midfielder out of Tyrone, Georgia. She comes in place of Taylor Marks, and another sub coming on as Chelsea Pearson will sit down. It'll be Jackie Hellett, a junior, a transfer from Lynn University out of the Sunshine State Conference. Played 2 years there, transferred up here. A native Floridian, moving up here to Georgia now to finish out her collegiate career. Wilby on the left side. Crosses it with the left foot. Hood heads it on. Hellett in the box. Has it on the right side. Chips it towards the net. And a goal kick coming up for Williams. Hellett actually high school teammates with Courtney Jackway, one of the players that's been in this program for a couple of years here at CSU. High school teammates and best friends, and it was Courtney that helped recruit Hellett up here when she was looking to transfer. We'll see what kind of impact Hellett can have as a transfer. Played quite a bit down there at Lynn. Appeared in 14 matches last season as this one lands in the Tusculum bench, a throw for the Lady Cougars. Made 9 starts last year as a sophomore, did Hellett. Made 15 starts as a freshman for Lynn. So plenty of playing experience at the Division II level. Rolling up from her defender spot with it on the right. Leaves it for Hood. Turns and runs into the corner with it. Driving it towards the center. It's Hellett, got a head on it. It's loose in the box still. Finally cleared away on the part of the Pioneers. It was Nikki Arthur who cleared it away in the center. Larice leaves it forward left. Sauer trying to run it down. Good speed from the freshman. With the left foot, centers it. Wilby got head on it. Hellett had it in the box, couldn't control it though. Keeps it alive for herself. And Taylor with the right foot fired one, but it mishit it and it sprayed way off to the right. Rolled out near the corner. And another goal kick coming up. Again, it's been all CSU in the possession so far here in this first half, but nothing to show on the scoreboard as we still sit 0-0, rolling under 13 minutes to go now here in the first half. 5 shots for the Lady Cougars, just 1 for the Pioneers so far. Out of those 5 shots for CSU, they've forced Marissa Williams to make just 1 save. Miosha Hatcher hasn't had to make any yet. working it on the far sideline near midfield. Good defense that time by Pelletier, forcing the action. Davis there on the backside that time. Still loose, though, as Tusculum drives it into the box. Davis, the junior, comes away with it and with the left foot clears it away. Casey, one of the few veterans of this bunch for CSU. The junior out of Boca Raton, Florida. Taylor, the one who gets rid of that. Driven forward with the right foot. Amy Morford, but well off to the left of the net and over the end line. For CSU, the experience comes from Casey Davis, the junior defender. Also Kelsey Pelletier, who's a junior. And then Jackie Hellett is a junior, but not one that has played in this program. And Shay Wilby, the other junior that's been in this program for her entire career. So only 3 of them that have played each year. Courtney Jackway, a junior as well, but didn't play last season, played in just 1 match. So not quite as experienced as the others. Rolling on the right side, working one-on-one with Arthur. Able to get around her, drives into the box with the right foot. Hood had a foot on it. Hellett swung and missed with the right foot, and it's finally cleared out of there by Capel. Ball loose again, right at about the 12 mark. But CSU comes up empty. While CSU doesn't have very many veteran upperclassmen, several sophomores in this bunch that played key roles as freshmen last year, so not completely void of experience on this roster. Shelby Rolling, who's fighting for it right now, able to win that battle away. Shelby, one of the more physical players on this CSU roster. She played a lot last year, as did Blakely Heidemann, who started for CSU in the back line. Tori Hood, one that played quite a bit last season as well. Andy Larice appeared in a lot of contests. Nikki Turnbull was one they were counting on for this season. A freshman last year who's a sophomore now that played quite a bit, but a preseason knee injury ended her second year here in Columbus. So she's not available. Claire Belay, another one of the people that played a lot last year as a freshman, another one that's been injured and is yet to play. They're hopeful she'll be back sometime in the near future, as CSU will have a throw on the near sideline. 10 to go in this first half. 0-0 still where we stand, as a foul coming up on the part of Tusculum. Too physical from behind that time was Carly Whitman, the senior out of Rochelle, Illinois. Pelletier, the one that hit the deck. So CSU a free kick in a scoring position over on the right side. Casey Davis will come over. The junior will take this one. CSU with 8 players right around the box as Davis flies this one in. Into the center, Hellett, one of the taller players on the roster, has it loose. It's still loose. Rolling, fires a shot, and it's deflected away. Shelby from about 6 feet out let one rip, and it was deflected away, and I believe CSU will get a corner kick out of it coming up here from the near side, and it'll be Jessica Sauer who will come to the near side. The freshman will take it. Rolling, a pretty clean look. Had to get it off quickly, though. Had it deflected out of bounds. So it's Sauer that'll come over with the right foot to swing one in front of the net. Into the center, headed away by Pugh. Arthur trying to clear it, but Pelletier did not allow her with the right foot. She fires one at net, scooped up on a hop by Williams, and CSU with 2 opportunities that time. None of them got in the net, though. 7 shots now for the Lady Cougars. A couple of corner kicks as well. Subs getting set to come on for Tusculum when we get to the next stoppage. Sauer wins that one away off the foot of Capel, taken back on the part of Witt, and CSU ultimately ends up with it. Pelletier, who's played every minute of this first half so far, with it at the midfield spot. Off to the left side for Larice, couldn't control it, tapped away. Off to Sauer and back to Larice. Has Hellett working up in the corner, and she drops it off for her. Tori Hood and Shea Wilby in the center. Here comes Larice. The defender falls down, and with the left foot, there's a save made on the shot by Larice. Williams dropped to 2 knees. Scooped it with 2 hands. A good look that time for Larice. the sophomore out of Enterprise, Alabama. Another shot for CSU, the 8th of the game. Arthur able to work out of a double team that time, leaves it forward but too far. They're trying to go to McCalla. Taken away by Taylor, now rolling on the run. Driving towards the center. Goes around the defender. In the center on the outside of the box, spins with the right foot, has her shot deflected away by the defender. Pugh. Only 2 forwards at this point for Tusculum out there, as Pugh now has it in space. 2 players out in front of her, 4 defenders for CSU there. Into the center, Andy Laree steps in front of the Pioneer. That was Capel who was waiting for it. Laree stepped in front to take it away, but Tusculum back with it. This is Pugh with the right foot, the long shot, snatched out of the air by Hatcher. A second shot on the part of Tusculum, and the first save for the sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia. Again, still scoreless here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Glad you're here with us on Cougar Sports TV, wherever you may be, watching across the Ustream feed. Back here again with you on Sunday, a 3 o'clock contest. We'll hit the air just before that. We're here for you all year long, all CSU home athletic events. You can find them right here on Cougar Sports TV. Subs coming in for both sides. Brittany McNair, a sophomore defender out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, in for the first time. Lindsey Kelly, a freshman for Tusculum, has come on as well, along with Patty Jordan, a sophomore out of Crossville, Tennessee, in for the Pioneers. Garrison sat down for Tusculum, as CSU has a throw coming up on the far side. It's Larice who will trigger it in. Off the foot of Wilby. And now it's Tusculum throw. 39th minute. Scoreless ball game. CSU hasn't scored since early in the second half. 2 games ago against number 1 West Florida, when Shea Wilby put one in to break a 1-1 tie and put CSU in front. A game they ultimately ended up losing 3-2 in overtime to the defending national champs. Got a player that looks like they're going to have to come off for Tusculum. The referee in the center sending off Patty Jordan to be looked at, pointing to her ear. A sub coming in for CSU. Mandy Janowitz, a freshman out of Alpharetta, coming in place of Shea Wilby. Tusculum playing with just 10 players on the field at the moment, as Jordan had to come off. A sub hasn't checked on for them yet, so CSU with a man advantage as it stands right now until there's a stoppage in play. This is Hood on the right side for Heidemann. This one's tapped out by Pugh, and a throw coming up. And now Mike Joy yelling at the referee in the center, asking for the sub. And the referee, William Gresham, not allowing him to have the sub here. And Joy was not pleased with that and let it be known. Rolling. Left it off for Hood. It was kicked back into the center. This is McNair towards the box. Kicked out by Pugh. Rolling to Heidemann. Defenders sharing the ball in the front. Heidemann crosses it. Hellett got a head on it, but out wide left. And now, with the stoppage in play, Mike Joy will get his sub to come on. This will be Allie Rhines, a freshman out of Jefferson City, Tennessee, that will sub in. That will be in place of Jordan, who had to come off, as we roll into the 42nd minute of play in this first half. Closing in on halftime, still searching for the first goal Hellett won the 50-50 battle in the air. One of the few CSU players that has size, height-wise, for Jay Ehrlich's club. Not the biggest of bunches are the Lady Cougars. This one led forward. Capel trying to make a run on the far sideline. Davis clears it out of bounds right in front of the bleachers. A throw coming up for Tusculum as we hit the 43-minute mark. Big opportunity for a momentum swing right before half, if either side could scratch one across. Pelletier on the move. Torrey Hood there as well. Pelletier, the one who ends up with it. Hood gave ground. Kelsey leading the way now. Working one-on-one with Whitman, able to get around her. Dribbling with the right foot, crossed it. Hellett is there with it, tried to control it, dropped it off. Janowitz wasn't home though. Larice gets it in the corner of the box, working on a double team. Hellett in the center. She'll turn and fire with the right foot. It's deflected out. Arthur got a foot to deflect the shot. Heidemann chasing it down in front of the Tusculum bench. She'll shield it off. Let it roll over the sideline. It'll be CSU throw. 1:12 left to go in this first half. Pelletier on the slide, deflects it away. The ball cleared, and Larice will track it down. It'll stay on CSU's side of the field. 1 minute left. Rolling on the move, has Heidemann to her right, leaves it off for her. Moving towards the end line. DeCross into the center of the box. Pugh whiffed on it. Finally, it's cleared away that time by Hackney. McNair goes to win it back. CSU in ultimate attack mode here in the final seconds, trying to get one across. Heidemann will track another one down. The cross over the end line. A corner kick coming up. Under 30 seconds to go, so Sauer will race to the corner to try to give CSU one more opportunity here before we hit the halftime break. Down to 20 seconds now as the freshman gets set. She'll swing it with the right foot. Rolling. Couldn't get a clean look at it as it's deflected away and cleared out, and that should do things for the most part here for the first half as they count down from 10. McNair has it deflected away. Sauer will hit one towards the box, cleared away, and we've hit the halftime point here in the home opener of the 2013 season for the Lady Cougars. 0-0. A scoreless first 45 minutes at the Walden Soccer Complex as the Lady Cougars and the Pioneers of Tusculum failed to get on the board through 45 minutes. CSU far and away better in shots on the board at this point. 11-2 where it stands as we hit the halftime break. 3 saves made on the part of Tusculum's Marissa Williams. 1 by Miosha Hatcher on just 2 shots on the part of the Pioneers. Tusculum with 0 corner kicks in this first half. 3 on the part of CSU. And it's been a relatively cleanly played first half. Only 3 fouls in the contest. 2 on the part of the Lady Cougars. 1 for Tusculum. For CSU, Shelby Rolling leading the way with 3 shots. 2 of them for Kelsey Pelletier. 2 for Taylor Marks. 2 for Jackie Hellett. The 3 shots on goal belong to Chelsea Pearson, Kelsey Pelletier, and Andy Larice in that first half. Alicia Pugh, the only shot on goal so far for Tusculum that Miosha Hatcher was able to get and make the save on. Taylor Marks also hit one off the crossbar for CSU, so it doesn't go down as on goal, but it hit off the crossbar that time. That was CSU's best scoring opportunity of the first 45 minutes. So we've played a first half here in Columbus, Georgia. 0-0 where we stand after the opening half. We'll take a few-minute break, come back, and have you set up for the second half of action here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Your score half on Cougar Sports TV. Lady Cougars 0, Tusculum 0. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV as we close in on the second half here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Jay Ehrlich's Lady Cougars scoreless at the end of one half as they take on Tusculum College, the Pioneers out of Greenville, Tennessee, in this 2013 home opener as the Lady Cougars search for victory number 1 of the season, trying to get off the schneid after 2 losses to number 1 West Florida and number 2 Grand Valley State. CSU out there in the navy blue, they'll have possession to start off this second half in a scoreless game. They'll be working right to left And very close to the same lineup they threw out to start the game did CSU. They did make a change, though. Jackie Hellett getting the start here in the second half for the Lady Cougars, as Nicole Corsione not in the starting lineup for the second half. So Miosha Hatcher still back in goal for CSU. Larice and Davis, along with Rolling and Heidemann on the back line. Taylor, Wilby, and Hellett in the middle, as that throw goes over everyone's head and into the hands of Marissa Williams in goal for the Pioneers. Taylor Marks, along with Chelsea Pearson and Kelsey Pelletier, start the half at the forward positions for CSU. In the second half for Tusculum, the Pioneers out there in the white uniforms with the orange stripes, as Hellett picks up the foul on the contact in the center of the field. Marissa Williams still in goal. Taylor Lewis, Gabrielle Witt, Hackney, Perez, Arthur, and Morford. Kilgore not starting in the second half for Tusculum, but Toombs and Neltner and Pugh are, along with Carly Whitman, who gets the start in place of Kilgore in the second half for Mike Joy's Pioneers. 11-2, the shot differential. CSU in favor so far in this one. 3 shots on goal, another one that hit the crossbar for the Lady Cougars, as the throw comes into Marks. She's one-on-one at this point, into the box with the left foot, down to a knee to scoop it up. That time was Williams. Another shot for CSU, who took the quick advantage off the throw, and the freshman Marks couldn't finish with the left foot. CSU dominated the possession in the first half, as Lewis with the head gets beyond Heidemann. Davis still behind to help out defensively, as Blakely was able to catch up. Lewis was able to get it through the legs of Davis, but Hatcher comes to a slide to take it away. Lady Cougars held possession for much of that first half, but it didn't result in anything on the scoreboard. Another update for you from Augusta. Lady Cougar volleyball team up 2-0 as they take the second set against Georgia Regents University, 25-23. So 25-13, 25-23 in the first 2 sets down there, as they are trying to get to 1-0 in Peach Belt Conference play and 5-0 on the season. This is Toombs in the center, the double team. She's able to step through it, though, with the right foot. The shot is into the hands of Miosha Hatcher, right on the center. So the first shot of the second half for Tusculum was half of the total they had in the first half, as they have a foul coming up on the part of Whitman of Tusculum. That'll give it to CSU. I believe they're going to whistle it dead and say CSU went too quickly on the free kick. They're going to require them to bring it back and start again. Lady Cougar volleyball back in action tomorrow. They'll be in Milledgeville, Georgia, to take on Georgia College, the other brand new volleyball program in the Peach Belt Conference. The Bobcats and Lady Cougars will play at noon, as this one's hit on the free kick into the center, headed away by Pugh. And after the noon contest for the Lady Cougars, CSU will take on West Georgia in a neutral site non-conference match there at Georgia College. So noon and 2 tomorrow from Georgia College in Milledgeville for CSU volleyball. Hellett swings it in with the right foot. No one there in the box for CSU, though, as Williams comes up to pick it up. The junior preseason all-second team South Atlantic Conference member in the preseason picked that one up, has made 4 saves so far, as Lewis, who's been an offensive threat here in the second half in the first 5 minutes of it, almost was loose again as Wilby clears it across midfield. The Lady Cougars have been very, very good in the first half this season. Through 3 games now, they've only given up 1 goal in the first half. However, in the second half and overtime, they've given up 4. So that's what they're trying to avoid here in this home opener. They gave up a goal in the second half to West Florida that tied the game at 2, and then gave up the game winner in the last seconds of overtime to fall 3-2. And then both goals they gave up in a 2-0 loss to Grand Valley State came in the second half. Had a chance to catch up with Jay Enlick earlier this week, and he was talking about an injury that happened to one of his cornerbacks, Becca Calder, a Division I transfer from Louisiana Monroe. Went down in that second half against Grand Valley, and the team fell apart a little bit defensively at that point as that one went over the head of Casey Davis. Andy Larice there to back her up, though, and Davis ultimately cleared it away. So trying to avoid that second half stumble are the Lady Cougars here as they search for win number 1. This is Pearson streaking down the left side. Pugh, the one standing between her and the goal as she steps it into the box. Pugh with the slide, deflects it away. Larice comes up from her defender position. She'll dribble in on the left side. Looking for the cross. Has it deflected, still alive in the corner. And it goes over the sideline, and Jay Entling just puts his head down, walks to the opposite end. A little bit frustrated at the offensive output so far of his bunch. Again, that's one of the big question marks, is where will the scoring come from for CSU? With most of their leading scorers from last year gone, I believe it's 6 out of the top 7 point scorers last year are gone from this roster. Which players step up and fill that scoring void? So far, that question hasn't been answered. Chelsea Pearson tackled to the ground by Gabrielle Witt. And the referee goes over to have a talk with her to tell her to calm it down just a little bit. A free kick coming up in a dangerous spot here as Casey Davis has an opportunity. A 3-person wall built. They're going to drop it off. Pearson wide open with it. Dribbles in with the right foot. Finds the back of the net, and it's a goal for the Lady Cougars. Tusculum falls asleep on the left side of the defense. They quick hit it to Chelsea Pearson, and the redshirt sophomore buries one in the back of the net. The first goal for her on the 2013 season. And the Lady Cougars on the board 1-0 as Mike Joy not happy with William Gresham, the referee in the center. Wasn't happy with the way that one was handled. But Chelsea Pearson picks up the goal. Casey Davis picks up the assist, and CSU on the board 1-0. As that goal comes in the 56th minute of play. Here it's 1-0 CSU. Right off the free kick, it looked like Tusculum couldn't get the defense set, fell asleep. And Chelsea Pearson was unmarked on the left side. Davis quick hit it to her. She drove into the center of the box and with the right foot blasted one into the back of the net. Lady Cougars in front, 1-0 now. Tusculum immediately back on the run, though. Perez swings one in. Hatcher comes over just inside the end line, grabs it with 2 hands, and all is calm in the back end for CSU. So Lady Cougars in front. They scored first against West Florida, didn't win the game. Didn't score against Grand Valley, didn't win that one. And they've scored first here tonight. We'll see if it translates into their first win. This one will roll over the sideline and out. Last touch by the Pioneers. A throw for CSU coming up. 13 shots is what it took for CSU to grab goal number 1 here over Tusculum. Again, 2 days from now, they'll be back in on this field as the CSU Collegiate Invitational will be back in progress. They take tomorrow off, do all 6 teams that are here, as Hellett scrambles for it and drives forward. CSU will play North Alabama at 3 o'clock on this field on Sunday. We'll have that one for you right here on Cougar Sports TV as well, as Pugh works it down the near sideline, deflected off of Andy Larice and out of bounds. Tusculum with just 3 shots so far, 1 here in this second half. As Taylor Marks comes over to deflect that one away on the double team. Wilby leaves it for Hellett, and CSU on the move again. This one left for Pearson, moving quickly to the right side. Chelsea very, very fit and good speed. Leaves it off for Rolling on the right side of the box, dribbles in. Leaves it for Pearson with the right foot, had the shot deflected. Rolling with the shot that time, misses off to the left. Couple of opportunities for CSU as the ball's still alive in the corner. Taylor Marks wins it away, and she's on the move into the box. Just gets inside with a left foot. The cross is there, still loose off the crossbar, off the foot of Wilby, and cleared away. Shea with a clean look, and with the left foot hit the crossbar. Now Tusculum on the move as the Pioneers try to get going. This is Kayla Taylor that was defending up Courtney Hackney, who finally just clears it into her own end, and Casey Davis will run it down near the corner. Up the near sideline. Tipped away by Taylor on the pass. Larice has it for CSU to control. So first 10 minutes of this half have been very good offensively for CSU. Quite a few opportunities. Twice tonight now they've hit the ball off the crossbar. Marks did it in the first half from inside the box, and Shea Wilby does it now as Shelby rolling with a nifty move. Gets around a defender on the far side. Leaving it forward that time, Pelletier was there. Hellett was there too, but it was out in front of both of them. And the goalkeeper, Marissa Williams, picks it up. CSU with a couple of subs set to come on at the next stoppage in play. 10 minutes into this second half, 1-0. CSU on top of Tusculum. This is Toombs dribbling forward to the left side of the box, and Blakely Heidemann takes it away from her, kicks it out of bounds, and a throw coming up near the corner on the far side for the Pioneers. Walking over to the far side will be Gabrielle Witt, sophomore out of Mason, Ohio. Sent into the box this time, and no one home for CSU defensively, as that was Amy Neltner who had gotten behind the defense in the box. I guess CSU was trying to get her into an offsides call. The flag never came up, and she couldn't keep it in bounds. A goal kick coming up. 3 subs in for CSU. It'll be Marks, Hellett, and Taylor that'll all sit down for CSU. Brittany McNair in, Jessica Sauer in, and Nicole Corsione, who started the game for CSU, is on for the first time in the second half. Rolling will clear it over midfield. Pelletier will head it on. Tusculum doing a better job here in the second half of having possession. Didn't spend much time with the ball on their side in the first half, and now here comes a good run out of the part of Nikki Arthur. Arthur with the right foot, the cross, blocked with the body by Casey Davis with the left foot. The clear not strong enough to get out, and this one sent forward by Neltner, but well off to the right, outside of the box, and Miosha Hatcher will have a goal kick. 16-3 now in the shot department. CSU ahead, but they lead 1-0 in the goal department. Jay Entlick up off his seat, hat in his hand, as he barks out instructions. Sure, it's tough for him, used to having veteran squads, having to deal with all the youth and inexperience on this bunch. Talked the other day about the fact that he still has to teach some of the finer points of soccer to this group just because they haven't had enough experience. This is Toombs going into the box. She's loose with it, but Miosha Hatcher scrambles to her left, slides in front, and rips it off the foot of the senior out of Canada. Pearson on the far side. Trying to get around Lewis, hit the floor. And the foul coming up on Lewis, called by the referee in the center, William Gresham. 3 fouls per side. Rather 4 fouls now for Tusculum. Free kick coming up for CSU. Casey Davis will take it. This one from farther out than the last one that they scored on, as she'll try to hit it to the center. CSU with 4 players right on the edge of the box. Pearson along with Corsione, Wilby, and McNair down there. As Davis gets set to fly it in, CSU with just about everyone on the plus side of the field. This one in front of the net. Corsione goes up for it, got a head on it, but couldn't head it towards the net, and was headed to the left of the net and over the end line. Again, Lady Cougars, first time in program history that they've started 0-2, although it should come with the caveat that it was number 1 and 2 in the country that they lost to. Not too many teams that are going to come away with other records than 0-2 in that scenario. As Larice gets called for being too physical from behind. Frustrated with the foul call that time. Moving it up the right side is Neltner now. Working one-on-one with Larice. Dribbles it past her with the right foot. The cross into the box. Lewis comes over to win it away. Miosha Hatcher scrambled out a goal to go get it. Couldn't get to the ball and had to scramble back. This is Neltner on the right side. Dribbles away from the box now towards that corner. That cross deflected by Larice. Cleared by Wilby. This is Perez with the left foot. With one hop, it'll move into the grasp of Miosha Hatcher. And she'll clear things away. 2 shots here in the second half already. In the first 15 minutes for Tusculum, matches the total they had in 45 minutes in the first half. Sauer leaves it forward. Pelletier, who's been quiet in this half, with it now. Right side of the box, working on Perez. With the left foot, the cross couldn't be controlled by Corsione. Tried with the right foot to knock it down. It went underneath her, though. Neltner with Davis. Davis got rid of it and then hit the deck hard. Pearson on the right side. In front of the onlookers there in the CSU bleachers. Dribbles around Pugh into the box and pushed over in the box. Jay Enlick stands up, just shakes his head. No call made on the field, though. So it's cleared away out of the scoring zone by Tusculum. Throw for the Lady Cougars is rolling. Tosses it with 2 hands. Pearson on the far side. Towards the box. Wilby trying to make a run at it. But it was cleared away by the defender, Amy Morford. CSU still in total control in the stat column. But only 1-0 in the goal category. Larice now moving forward quickly. Too far out in front of her that time. And one away by Tusculum. Pelletier in that rotation system slides back into the corner back spot of Larice to play defense until Andy can get back there. They rotate back and let Kelsey get back into the midfield. Larice, Corsione controls it with the body. Working on Arthur, the freshman, drives in with the right. Left it a little too far out on the touch, had it taken away. Corsione comes in here with a reputation as a big-time goal scorer. Holds her high school records with 142 career goals there in Candler, North Carolina. She leaves it off for Wilby, who they're going to say was offside. Corsione, though, played at Inca High School there in North Carolina, scored 142 goals in her career. That's a school record. And then scored 43 goals in a single season, which is also a school record. So Jay Itlick hoping that she can walk in here and have a chance to add a scoring threat at the forward position for CSU. It was one of the things they were lacking last year, was a scoring forward. Steph Lowry, who led this team in goals, played in the midfield. Kansas Bailey, who was second on the team, was a defender, but a cornerback that in Jay Itlick's squad works up and down the field, doesn't play only defense. That forward position was where they were lacking a little scoring. As Chelsea Pearson is loose, trying to get to it, she'll win the race. Has a couple of teammates in the box. This is Corsione. Had it taken away, though. Couldn't control it right there in the center, and Jay Illick again takes the hat off in frustration. As a foul coming up now on the freshman, Corsione. Pearson, showing that speed, got loose on the right side, left it in the box for Corsione, who also had Pelletier with her, the 3 forwards on the field. But Corsione couldn't touch it to herself before it was taken away. Free kick coming up for Tusculum on their half of the field defensively, as Pugh hits it across midfield, and CSU will take it on the run. This is Sauer. In the center, Corsione. Off to the right side, it's Pearson. It's Pearson, Corsione, and Pelletier. Pugh, the defender on Pearson, who with the right foot kicks one. It's deflected away, and a corner kick coming up. Before the corner happens, though, subs coming in. Pearson will sit down. Tori Hood in for CSU at the forward spot. Toombs coming off along with Lewis for Tusculum. It's Garrison and McCalla that come in for Mike Joy's bunch. 1-0 where we stand. Closing in on the 65th minute here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Sauer goes to the corner to hit this one in with the right foot into the center. Corsione ahead on it. It's still up in the air in the center. And run over in the box that time, I believe, was Heidemann. It was Morford that came in and leveled her going for the ball. But a loose ball collision, no foul called, and cleared away by Marissa Williams. CSU, though, right back on the attack as Tori Hood has it. Leaves it off for Rolling, who's on the far sideline. Rolling the cross. Will be there in the box. Ball still loose. Pelletier trying to corral it. Drops it off for McNair, who will hit it back into the center. And that'll be picked up on a short hop by Williams. 18th shot of the game put on by CSU. 5 saves made now by the junior goalkeeper Williams. McNair, the sophomore from Mississippi, drops it off for Davis there, as McCalla was the one trying to run it down. Heidemann on the right side, hits it forward. Pugh deflects it back to midfield. 1-0 where we still stand. CSU in front on a goal by Chelsea Pearson. Offsides coming up against Tusculum. Too far out in front that time. So CSU with it, and we have a final from Augusta now. CSU still perfect. 15 sets, 15 wins. They're 5-0 on the season as they take the final set over Georgia Regents University, 25-17. So Casey Cornett's bunch stays perfect, and this the first Peach Belt Conference victory for CSU volleyball. As Tori Hood on the move on the right side, dribbles into the box with the right foot, off the hands of Williams, who knocks it down and picks it up. Tori Hood, who already owns a goal on the year, was searching for number 2, but Williams denies it. So already a good result for the night for CSU volleyball, and CSU soccer trying to hold up its end of the bargain here and make it a 2-for-2 night for Columbus State Athletics. Heidemann in the center of the field. Off to McNair. Larice trying to sneak around the left side, and she'll go get it. Defender falls down in front of her. Larice still with it with the right foot, working around the defense, had it deflected away. Gets it back, drops it off for McNair, who hits it into the center of the box. Headed out. Perez, the one who heads it. The clear was deflected away. Larice was able to deflect the clear by Arthur, but it goes over the sideline. A throw coming up for Tusculum. Again, a 1-goal lead means nothing for CSU. It's attack, 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 attack at all times. The Antlick squad never backs off. Always in scoring mode. As Larice has it taken away from her by McCalla, who's leading it the other way. Garrison, the one running out in front of her. McCalla still dribbling with it. Larice, the defender. Pelletier trying to sneak up behind her now. Hits it into the box, but Tusculum with no one anywhere near the ball. Hatcher picks it up, the throw to the right side. Heidemann there waiting for it. That one cleared out of bounds on the far sideline. A throw for CSU upcoming. Before that happens, a sub coming in for the Lady Cougars as Jackie Hellett will trot back on. Nicole Corsione, the one coming off. Hellett started this half, came out in favor of Corsione, and now they'll switch back, and Hellett will play a few more minutes here in the second. CSU trying to hold an opponent scoreless for the first time this season. When unable to do so down in Savannah in the opening 2 games of the season. Still have 21 more minutes, though, to try to hold on to that one here. So a lot of work defensively left to be done. They'd love to add another goal to the mark, to add a little cushion for them. This is Hood, who has it left for her by Hellett. The sophomore swings it into the box. It's live in the center, touched by CSU and rolled into the hands of Williams. Williams with the goal kick clears it out. 1-0 where we're at, approaching the 75th minute of action. Rather, the 70th minute of action. This is Neltner into the corner. Casey Davis, the defender, trying to deflect it off of her. And it ends up in play for CSU where Larice clears it. Hellett trying to direct traffic. The transfer from Lynn. Off for Heidemann on the far side. Her first game action tonight of the season after missing last weekend with an injury. Heidemann decides to just drop it off to Shelby rolling into the center. It's Brittany McNair that'll control it. Dribbles it near the box, drops it. Going for Pelletier, had it deflected away. Instead, they'll leave it off on the left side for Larice. Larice outside the box with the right foot across. Didn't get inside the box. It's cleared, though, in the direction of the goal. Hellett going for it. Got a head on it. The ball's still loose as Williams collides into Hellett. And finally, the goalkeeper scrambles to her feet and picks it up. The ball was loose after Hellett got a head on it, trying to hit it towards the net. Williams deflected it. Then the two of them ran into each other. Both of them hit the grass. But it was Williams that was able to scramble to the ball before the offensive player could get to it. Before the throw comes in. One 0 CSU where we stand. Ball goes over the sideline on the far side. CSU with the throw up coming. Heidemann, the one that throws it near the box. Hellett, who she's going for. Got it loose. Flicked it over to the left side for Wilby. Wilby working on Arthur. Arthur deflected it away. Neltner comes to win it. Deflects it out of bounds, though. A throw for CSU. Tried to throw it in quickly to Wilby, who deflected it over the end line. A goal kick coming up, and subs in for Tusculum. Neltner will sit down. It'll be Katie Capel who's back on for the first time here in the second half. Also in will be Kanisha Waugh as Monica Perez comes off. Taylor Marks getting set to return for CSU as Shea Wilby is going to sit down. Goal kick coming up as they sort things out here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Marissa Williams set to boot one away. Tusculum with it here on the near side. This is Capel. McNair knocks it away from her over near the CSU bench. A throw for the Pioneers coming up as it'll be Waugh that will throw it in. CSU up in the shot department, 20-4 so far, as Capel sends it into the center. Heidemann will clear it away. Hellett wins possession in the center for the Lady Cougars. Davis now. Off to the left side, going for Pelletier. It got through the defender Waugh, and Pelletier, in the middle of a double team, couldn't win possession. McNair Leaving it for Marks, who was grabbed from behind by Capel on the jersey. Nothing called there, though, as they leave it forward for Pelletier. Waugh hits the ground. Nothing called as Pelletier tries to dribble into the box. Marks with it now. Hood in the center, gets around the defender with the right foot. She'll send it into the left side. Tori Hood makes it a 2-0 CSU lead. Tori Hood has now surpassed her score total from her freshman campaign, scored 1 goal during the 2012 season, and now she's scored 2 in the first 3 games for the Lady Cougars. And Tori Hood has added a cushion to the lead here for CSU. 16:06 showing on the scoreboard here at the Walden Soccer Complex. 2-0 Columbus State in front as Hood gets her 2nd goal of the year. Taylor Marks, the freshman, picks up the assist for CSU. So now CSU with a 2-0 lead has a little room to play with over the final 16 minutes. Tusculum now forced to go into all attack mode now. Can't afford to sit back and let CSU continue to fire shots at the net. 21 shots now for the Lady Cougars. 2 of them have gotten beyond Marissa Williams. Williams actually recorded as the foul was called against Brittany McNair of CSU. Williams set the 3rd best mark in Tusculum program history last year with a .82 goals against average. And in her 3rd season now in net, climbing up some of the career charts there for the Pioneers. Pugh on the free kick. Gets through a couple of players. Heidemann, the one who finally ends up with it on her foot. Tori Hood, who just put one in, now on the move again behind the defense. Sliding over the touch a little too hard that time, and it was Morford who deflected it away over the sideline on the far side, and a sub coming on for CSU before the throw as Corsione will come back in. Kelsey Pelletier will sit for, I believe, the first time all night. I believe she played all 45 minutes in the first half and played the first 30 and change here in the second. This is Hillett on the far side. Being defended by Arthur right there in the corner, trying to earn a corner kick. Hits it through the legs of Arthur, got by her. Leaves it for Tori Hood. That one hit over the in line by Garrison. A corner kick coming up. Sauer runs to the corner. She'll hit this one for CSU. It'll be their 5th corner of the match. Sub coming back on for CSU as Chelsea Pearson's going to return. Tori Hood will come off. Trio of subs for Tusculum. Toombs, Neltner, and Lewis. And now Perez. So a quartet of subs for Tusculum. Sitting down will be Capel, Garrison, Waugh, and McCalla. So Mike Joy going with a big change. Sauer on the corner for CSU from the right. That one will land on top of the net as it didn't curl into play. And again, Jay Entlick, this time sitting down, just stares at the ground. New coaching staff this year for Jay Entlick's group. Rade Tanaskovich, his assistant coach this season. Sitting over to his left on the coach's bench. First season for him here in Columbus. And as we mentioned earlier, his graduate assistant this year, Mary Manson, the former all-conference goalkeeper here at Columbus State that just finished up her playing days. Pearson trying to get into the box. Too strong on the touch over the end line on a goal kick. So a new look this year for the CSU staff outside of Jay Entlick, the only head coach that CSU has ever known in women's soccer. Started this program back in 2004, and now in his 10th season, still here and still going strong, and is the all-time wins leader in Peach Belt Conference history. closing in on the 150 mark. McNair takes it away that time. Larice drops it off for McNair. Taken back away, Neltner with it. Too far with the pass, Davis the clear. 2-0 CSU, a shove in the back coming up. They had the delayed foul call, but with Corsione winning it, they let CSU play on. Corsione trying to make her mark in her freshman year. Leaves it for Pearson with the left foot. Couldn't center her body up well enough to get a strong shot on net. Was in the right spot, but had to slide to try to put it in. And Pearson puts the shot on, but saved by Williams. Again, left for Corsione, this time on the left side. Working around the defender, into the box. A chance to let one rip, and it's just wide left of the post by Corsione. Had a good look that time, but ripped one that curled a little bit outside the post. Watched CSU play in a scrimmage a couple of weeks ago. Corsione had quite the offensive performance. Put in a couple of goals for CSU. You can see the talent and the ability that Jay Entlick saw in her when he recruited her here. Sub coming in for Tusculum before the throw. Witt will sit down. It's Hannah Riddle, a freshman from right there in Greenville, where Tusculum's located. That's in for the very first time as Sauer deflects that one away. Right over the Tusculum bench. Another throw coming up for Neltner. Closing in on the 80th minute of play. Another throw for the Pioneers. 2-0 CSU looking for win number 1 here of the 2013 season. Taylor Marks wins the battle. The ball deflected off of Neltner there. And you can see the visible frustration on the face of Mike Joy, who deflects that one away on his own sideline. Hadn't been too happy with how things have gone tonight. Here goes Corsione on the move again. Dribbling into the center of the box. Has a player to her left, it's Pearson. She works to the right, chips one, but it's high and wide. The goalkeeper, Williams, came out to challenge her as he tried to hit it right over the top of her. Succeeded, but it didn't go on net. Corsione getting her fair share of shots off. That was shot 24 for CSU. They lead 24-4 in that department. Tusculum got off 2 shots in the first 15 minutes of this half, matching their first half total as offsides comes up against Pearson, an easy call from the far side. But since 15 minutes gone by here in this half, Tusculum has not gotten another shot off. And here we are under 9 minutes to play, working in the 81st minute. Back here on Sunday, 3 o'clock kickoff against North Alabama. The two teams met here last year. CSU winning that battle of top 15 teams at the time. But those are two completely different looking teams this year. North Alabama losing a lot, changing head coaches. CSU losing a lot, keeping their head coach, but a lot of new faces on the field. Pearson chips it forward for Hellett. The one touch for Corsione. It's 1-on-1. The ball still loose in the center of the box, but 2 Tusculum defenders there and cleared away on the part of Carly Whitman. Corsione seems to be involved in everything right now offensively for CSU. Throw coming up for the Lady Cougars. Larice will take it. It throws it in to Corsione. Dribbles into the center of the field with a slide, had it taken away. Foul coming up against the Pioneers. So CSU with possession of it. Larice's ball near the box was taken away. 5 fouls against Tusculum so far, 6 charged to the Lady Cougars. Neltner forward for Lewis. Lewis, another one of the all-conference preseason selections. Dribbles forward, the shot with the left foot. Scooped up and into the breadbasket of Miosha Hatcher. Hatcher will punt it away with just over 7 minutes to go. CSU trying to finish it off. Trying to add to Jay Itlick's all-time conference-leading win total. More importantly, looking for a 1 in the win column for 2013. Corsione just outside the box, dribbles in, the shot with the left foot off the left post. Got it by the goalkeeper Williams, but hits off the post and cleared over the sideline. I believe that's the 4th time tonight CSU has hit a post or the crossbar on a shot. So this one could be a lot wider than 2-0. Couple inches in a different direction on several of these shots, and CSU's running away with this one. Corner kick coming up for the Lady Cougars now, as Taylor Marks will go to the corner to take it from the near side. The short corner left it for Pearson, who had it taken right off her foot by Lewis. Deflected away by Pearson, and a throw coming up this time from deep in the corner for Tusculum as we hit 6 minutes to play. The ball rolled out right at the corner. Marks wins it away, hits it into the box. It's loose. Hellett now has it at the line. From the 18, has the shot deflected. Cleared out. Casey Davis, the only one home. Toombs trying to trail it, but she'll drop it off for Hatcher, and CSU will run a little clock with no forwards up for Tusculum. 27 shots now for CSU as they continue to mount that total. This game looks much like games last season did for CSU. Dominant on offense and not allowing the opponent to get anywhere near the net defensively. Marks running after this one. Arthur cleared it away. It was deflected. Ends up on the foot of Hackney, who leaves it for Lewis. Pugh touched that one on the near sideline. Couldn't control it enough to keep it in bounds. Pugh in the center, banged up and down, slow to get up, still trying to work her way up near midfield. Chipped into the box this time as Hatcher slides out, takes the defender down with her as they're going to check on Pugh and make sure she's okay. She seems to be fine. They're going to stop the clock as they check on Alicia Pugh, a sophomore from Bedfordshire, England. 4:47 showing on the clock here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Miyoshi Hatcher, a nice job in goal just then. Coming out to slide in and grab that ball off the foot of a Tusculum forward. Miyoshi done a nice job in net. Hadn't had to do a whole lot, but when the defense has asked her to make a stop, she's done so. Trying to pitch the first shutout of her college career. CSU, 13 shutouts last season. 4 minutes and change away from number 1 here in 2013. Cleared away by Whitman. Davis couldn't keep possession of it. It goes out for a throw, and Neltner will come get it right in front of the CSU coaching staff. Headed on by Lewis. Toombs with it now. Couple of defenders for CSU. Larice and Davis there. It's Davis that was able to knock it away. Arthur hits it in front. Pugh now will fire a shot. Blocked on a dive, that time by Hatcher. Good-looking shot from outside the box by Alicia Pugh, and Hatcher makes the diving save. That was to her right. Deflects it over the goal line. And a corner kick coming up for the Pioneers. In the corner, it's Amy Morford that will take it. In the far corner, trying to get Tusculum on the board with a little over 3 minutes to play. With the right foot, hits it into the center. Headed out by Jackie Hellett. Can already tell she's going to be a big bonus for CSU in corner situations with her height. Has won a lot of the 50-50 balls up in the air. Here's Pugh again in the corner. Another corner kick coming up as Larice deflected that one over the end line. 87th minute now. 87th minute of play, 2-0 CSU. Again, this is Morford to the corner. This time from the near side, she'll hit one in. Pioneers dive at the net. Here's the ball into the center. Hatcher punches it out with two hands. She'll chip it back in, Will Morford. Headed out by Rolling. A miss hit that time by Arthur, and finally cleared away. This is Perez with possession. Off to the side on the left. Hackney sends it into the center for Toombs. McNair chips it away from her. Hellett will clear it down the field. It's Pearson one-on-one with Riddle. Riddle wins it away. Chelsea would have been off to the races, one on none, had she come away with that one. Instead, it's cleared into the center. Rolling hits it away on a header to Heidemann, who's knocked over by Lewis, and Heidemann now sitting on it. And believe it'll be a foul coming up against Tusculum. That'll give it back to CSU on a free kick, as Miosha Hatcher will have it right at the 18 line. 90 seconds to go here from the Walden Soccer Complex. Headed forward, Corsione trying to track it down. She has Marks off to her left in the box. Corsione dribbles. Tries to dribble into the center, knocked down, still loose. And now I believe they're going to say Corsione was the one who committed the foul, trying to scramble to the ball as we hit 1 minute to go. CSU on its way to a 1-2 start to the season now, as they will pick up the first victory of 2013 as that one's headed away. Lady Cougars now in the win column. I'm sure that will feel good for Jay Intlick's bunch. As subs are coming on for CSU, Pelletier and Wilby will come on for the final 45 seconds. Jessica Sauer and Brittany McNair sit down. So 45 seconds left to finish this one out for the Lady Cougars, and those that are here in attendance at the Walden Soccer Complex have been treated to a good one on the part of CSU. 2-0 where it stands right now. Into the center. Marks as CSU continues to try to add on. Corsione trying to control it, had it knocked away. Cleared by Whitman as we hit 20 seconds to go. Over the sideline into the CSU bench. A throw for Tusculum coming up. 12 seconds and counting now as they roll under and the countdown starts under 10. CSU on its way to a 2-0 victory over Tusculum here in the home opener of 2013. The horn sounds, and that is a victory horn for the Lady Cougars, who win it 2-0 over Tusculum College. Jay Intlick and his Lady Cougars pick up their first victory of 2013. They move to 1-2 on the season, while Tusculum falls to 1-2-1 through 4 games in 2013. The first day of the CSU Collegiate Invitational has wrapped up, and all 3 of them ended in shutouts. 3-0, Nova Southeastern knocked off North Alabama. Tampa, a 2-0 victory over Lenore-Ryan, and it's a 2-0 victory for CSU over Tusculum. 27 shots for the Lady Cougars to just 6 for the Pioneers. 9 saves made by Pioneer goalkeeper Marissa Williams. 5 for Miosha Hatcher, who had to do a lot more work in that second half. 6 corner kicks to 2 for CSU. And the foul department, CSU ahead 7-6 in that, as there was a little more fouls and physicality there in the second 45 minutes of action. Again, CSU back here on Sunday as the CSU Collegiate Invitational takes tomorrow off. And then all 6 teams back in action coming up here on Sunday. 10, 12:30, and 3 are the game times here from the Walden Soccer Complex on Sunday afternoon, as the Lady Cougars will play North Alabama at 3 o'clock in the final game of the 6 played here this weekend. Some final tallies for you. Shelby Rowling, Chelsea Pearson, and Nicole Corsione, each with 4 shots, 3 of them on goal for Chelsea Pearson. Kelsey Pelletier with 2 shots, 1 on goal. Taylor Marks and Jackie Hellett each with 3 shots as well. Tori Hood with a pair of shots. Shea Wilby with a couple of shots as well. Of the 6 shots for Tusculum, 2 of them by Alicia Pugh. led the way in a quartet of players with a single shot of the 6 that they had. The scoring was 0-0 when we went to the locker rooms at halftime. In the 51st minute, it was Chelsea Pearson off a quick free kick. Casey Davis had Chelsea Pearson wide open on the left side, and Pearson then buried one home with the right foot from inside the box. Puts one in the back of the net and puts CSU in front 1-0, her first goal of the season. In the 73rd minute, it was Tori Hood off an assist by Taylor Marks that buried one in the back of the net. It was her second goal of the season in 3 games. And that made it a 2-0 contest, and that was how we finished here at the Walden Soccer Complex. 2-0 the final score. CSU wins it over Tusculum. CSU 1-2, Tusculum 1-2-1. CSU back in action on Sunday, and we'll have it for you here on Cougar Sports TV. So we're back here 3 o'clock on Sunday. The game time, we will start and hit the air just prior to that. So we hope you're with you here in Columbus. If you're not, join us here on Cougar Sports TV, and we'll have that action for you. Lady Cougar Volleyball victorious tonight, a sweep over Georgia Regents down in Augusta. They're in action at noon, and 2 tomorrow in Milledgeville, taking on Georgia College and then West Georgia. So we're back with you here on Sunday. Until then, a big thanks to everyone here at Columbus State and at CSU Athletics Cougar Sports TV. We're glad you were here with us. Stephen Williams saying so long here from Columbus, Georgia.